Happy holidays and welcome to the Bobby Mo Show. It is the holiday edition of the Bobby Mo Show, and it's the Robert Morris University hockey edition of the Bobby Mo Show. Since it is the holidays, we won't have a Bobby Mo Show next week, but today, special day because we are going to talk the return of Robert Morris University hockey with head hockey coach Derek Schooley and former Pittsburgh Penguin Ryan Malone, who stepped in to help out in the resurgence of RMU hockey. All that coming up right after this on the Bobby Mo Show.
Get a group together and cheer on your RMU Colonials with teammates, family, and friends. Group tickets are now on sale for all RMU men's and women's basketball games at the UPMC Event Center. Groups of 10 or more save big, and there are exclusive on-court experiences for groups of 25 or more. Non-stop action, fantastic promotions, and lots of fun all season long. Call the RMU Group Sales Hotline at 412-397-4949 or check it out at rmucolonials.com.
If anybody deserves the title Mr. Hockey at Robert Morris University, it is the head men's hockey coach of the Colonials, Derek Schooley. And Derek, there's been tremendous news coming out of campus and off the island this week that after a little bit of a hiatus, and we'll talk about what you went through during that hiatus, that Robert Morris University hockey is coming back. And I know that this is probably one of the best Christmas gifts you could get at this time of the year.
Yeah, well, first of all, Mr. Hockey is reserved for one person. That's Gordie Howe. So that goes way back, and I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, it's been an interesting last 210 days since May 26th. But there's been a lot of people that have really stepped up, and from alums like Logan Biddle and David Friedman and Brianne McLaughlin to a lot of the donors, a lot of people that are vested into hockey, and TJ Brown and Chris King, and I even the administration at Robert Morris to be open-minded to listen to bringing these teams back has been just outstanding. And I appreciate everybody from Dr. Howard all the way down to that has allowed hockey to come back. So it is a good Christmas present. We are excited about hockey returning in 2023. And now we got to get to the task of rebuilding the programs.
Let's talk about that, Coach Schooley, rebuilding the programs. The return is not immediate. It is still in the future, but obviously you have to work up to that point. Let's talk about the next phases of bringing hockey back to RMU.
Well, I think the most important thing right now is our conference affiliation. I know Chris King has had preliminary discussions with the commissioner of Atlantic Hockey and the commissioner of the CHA. They're the same, which is good. So he doesn't have to have two separate conversations. But I know that they're enthusiastic about Robert Morris returning. We're going to probably have to not do a presentation, but I'm sure we'll have to answer some questions as far as like anybody would be to get in a league. But they know our history. The women have been to 2 NCAA tournaments. We've been to one, countless league championships. We've won 3 regular season championships. I think the women have won a couple as well. So I think that that'll go fairly smoothly.
As you mentioned, it's been over 200 days that Robert Morris's hockey team was in suspended animation, for lack of a better term. But when the announcement was made that Robert Morris was not going to continue with the hockey program, it seemed that the hockey fans and the hockey nation, not just at Robert Morris, but all throughout Pittsburgh and even beyond, they let out a vociferous cry and demanded to get this back. And that was part of it. I mean, you had such a tremendously loyal, albeit small fan base that really took a lot of people to task and helped drive this return.
Well, I think that's one of the things that has come out of this. And I said this in the press conference. I don't think people understand what you have till it's gone. And while we had consistently put over 1,000 people into the Island Sports Center, I think people at times took it for granted a little bit. And the The community came out. I know Dr. Howard said in the press conference we needed a rally. Well, we got a rally, and the community came out. The hockey community, local, nationwide, came to help, and I think that those are really neat things to be able to do that. And we've got over 500 season tickets already sold for a program that didn't exist, or reserved for a program that didn't exist. Once we really start hitting the season ticket drive, you're going to see the island filled. I think, and this is me guesstimating, that minus a few of the big schools like Wisconsin and Minnesota, that Robert Morris might have the largest season ticket base in all of women's hockey. Minus a few of the big schools that consistently put 4,000 seats in, or 4,000 people in the seats. So I think that we can come back stronger, and we got a little bit of a time to get going, but it's an exciting time to be a Colonial hockey supporter. I mean, I've got my Frozen 4 vest on right now, and we've had 2 of those here. So the nation knows Robert Morris and knows that about Pittsburgh college hockey.
Derek Schooley is our guest on the Bobby Moe Show, and we're going to be talking to a guy named Ryan Malone coming up in just a little bit. But you got some really great support for the return to hockey for Robert Morris University from a lot of people from the professional ranks, including Ryan, and the Pittsburgh Penguins were backing this. There were Steelers, there were media people, all involved in helping drive this. And let's talk a little bit about Ryan's involvement and some of the others who helped out.
Well, it came up through an idea of the Pittsburgh Celebrity Face-Off, and to have a celebrity game to raise awareness and raise money, and it just took off. I broached that subject with Phil Bourque. Phil Bourque jumped all in. Sean Sweezum from the Steelers jumped in, and Ryan Malone reached out to Breanne McLaughlin because they played in the Olympics together, and Ryan got involved, and you can't say enough good things about his involvement, and which led to Brett Kiesel, led to Tyler Kennedy, Neil Walker. I mean, involved in either the celebrity game or the videos that Ryan put together. And then we got the on the bench guys who are the Canadian duo, kind of the slapshot version of Canada now. And for even those who go back, the Bob and Doug McKenzie back from the SCTV era, and they were outstanding. There, we had Iceberg, we had the Pirate Parrot playing hockey in the celebrity game. I mean, the Pirate Parrot screened the goalie, the celebrity team goalie, twice because he couldn't get out of the way.
Well, he has those big hips, so
yeah, he was wide. He was taking away the goalie's eyes, that's for sure. But I mean, these guys didn't have to get involved, but they knew what college hockey meant to the area, and to have Brett Kiesel dive in head first, and we did everything. Like Colby Armstrong was involved in the video and the game, and these are media personalities. And then you go and you get Larry Richard and Andrew Stockey and Pittsburgh. We had the mayor of Pittsburgh coach one of the benches with Sally Wiggin. I mean, those are icons in the city of Pittsburgh. Donnie Iris was at one of the events. I mean, that's who's who in Pittsburgh. It may not go national, but it helped get the word out. And we had 1,000 people for the celebrity game, and the auction raised close to 30,000. And it was a fun time with those guys. And I think one of the best parts about it is now they're all fully invested. Mm-hmm. In the next face-off game will be a celebration, and to be able to get those same guys back and get Ryan back. And Ryan's on the Pittsburgh College Hockey Foundation board, and grew up in Pittsburgh, played at Upper St. Clair, went to play college hockey, played for the Penguins, played in the Olympics. You couldn't have a better teammate than Ryan Malone.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And as I mentioned, we'll be talking to him in the next segment of the Bobby Moe Show. Derek, not to drudge up old emotions, but it had to be a roller coaster ride. I know you stayed here in Pittsburgh as well. You stayed because you believed that this was going to come back. But, tell me what you went through from the moment that you heard that the university was forced to drop the program until where we are right now.
Well, emotional. But I think obviously I was worried about my players. Sure. Worried about getting players homes, and making sure that they are. And the university took care of the ones that stayed and through scholarships and ice time and things like that. But fast forwarding to when we heard the programs were coming back, it was gratitude, thankful, and emotional. It's challenging because in the house here for the last 210 days, I got 3 kids in high school and constantly wondering if we're going to have to move because I'm a hockey coach. I'm 51 years old and I've coached for 25 years and that's all I've done. And it's too late to reinvent myself as a doctor or anything like that. So I have to keep coaching hockey, and it was stressful on my family. So I'm appreciative of the support that they gave us as well through this. But I think right now it's more thankful, gratitude, exciting, looking towards the future, and excited about the future of Robert Morris hockey again.
All right, I'll ask you finally now. Tell me about the future. What's it look like? How bright is it? Is this going to stick? Are we going to stay?
Oh, I mean, there's been no. We're here for the long term. We've talked about future plans and moving forward, and I think that's a fair question that we're going to get for recruits. And I think we've done such a good job. And as you saw, the resolution was from the Board of Trustees that hockey is back at Robert Morris, and we're going to get back to the funding where we were at, from what I've been told, and potentially, as I told you, we've got more season ticket holders, we've got more donors, we've got more people enthused about Robert Morris hockey that have ever been there before. So we'll just make sure that we continue moving forward. We'll develop a plan on how we get recruits and start moving in that direction. But I'm a true believer that Robert Morris, both men's and women's, can get back to the national prominence that we have. I mean, we beat the number 1 team in the nation twice. We beat Michigan. We beat Boston University. We beat Ohio State. We beat Penn State. Our resume is solid, and I believe that we're going to be able to get back to that.
Derek, you're the man to run it. And we're so glad that you're still here, and we're so glad that Robert Morris hockey is on its way back. We can't wait to see the Colonials back on the ice. And congratulations on the comeback, and we're looking forward to it. And we're going to be talking to Ryan Malone next, right here on the Bobby Moe Show. Stay with us.
Have you ordered your Perry's Ice Cream Family Fun Pack yet? Enjoy all the excitement of RMU football and men's and women's basketball with delicious Perry's Ice Cream, the official ice cream of the RMU Colonials. Get 4 game day tickets and 4 Perry's Ice Cream treats for $40. For more information and to order your Perry's Family Fun Pack, call the RMU ticket hotline at 412-397-4949 or check it out at rmucolonials.com.
Next up on the Bobby Moe Show, Ryan Malone, the former Pittsburgh Penguin and NHL star, and one of the key figures in saving and getting Robert Morris to return to hockey. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us here on the Bobby Moe Show podcast. It's great having you, and let's just catch up. What are you up to these days?
Yeah, well, after that big rally, we're just trying to take a break. It was great to see the community come together, see these teams reinstated. So just kind of trying to get that last minute holiday shopping in and getting ready for the holidays.
Absolutely. That's that time of the year. And it's a wonderful time of the year if you're a Robert Morris University hockey player, hockey coach, hockey fan, hockey aficionado, because the return to hockey for Robert Morris University is big. And I just want you to explain why that was so important to you to become involved in this movement.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I'm very thankful. I think Bree and Logan started that Pittsburgh College Hockey Foundation, I think maybe 7 months ago now, when it kind of first went down. So, they've been fighting for this right from off the bat. So that's been just really inspiring because when I caught on, obviously later on in the game, realized how much time we had left to raise the money. It was very important for me to get involved growing up there as a kid, and knowing what it felt like to have, zero ambition of going. You're not even sure where you can go in Pittsburgh playing hockey. Like I mentioned before a few times, I had one friend go to junior B and another friend went to a military school, and we thought that was cool. We didn't know what, wherever the roads might take us. So I think, and still having those Division I programs in Pittsburgh now, and the success they've had and how much they've done for the community, it is a great stepping stone, a great place for kids to see, oh, okay, I can play college at a high level and continue to, grow my game, but also then be around family and friends. And I think that's the secret. If you can stay close to home and still live out your dreams, and still continue to get better as a player in person, that's what it's all about. So it was very easy for me to come on board and kind of help reach the finish line.
I think everybody knows that you come from a hockey family. You're a professional hockey player yourself. Growing up, going to Upper St. Clair High School, there wasn't really a local opportunity for collegiate hockey for you, and you ended up going to St. Cloud State University. With that being said, how important was college hockey to you in developing your career and driving you to the professional level?
It was everything. Like you said, I was very blessed to grow up in a hockey family. And then my dad, when he retired with his career, he came back to Pittsburgh there as the head scout. So he got to draft, Yager up to Crosby to Fleury to all these guys. So he, I think, understood that. Even for me as a kid, he never put any pressure on me to shoot pucks or do whatever. And I don't think he ever thought I'd ever play hockey professionally because of just the odds. But I did fall in love with the game. And I think that's ultimately what matters in the end. And he always would say, you have to kind of get good on one pond, your local pond, and then you have to go to another pond and establish yourself. Then you go to a different pond and there's, everyone there. So for myself, when I ended up leaving Pittsburgh, it was a good transition to go to Shattuck St. Mary's, where he played some junior hockey and some high school. And fortunately, I got to repeat my junior year of high school, so I get my grades up to go to college.
I wish I would have had that chance.
Yes, I was very fortunate. And then graduating as a senior in Omaha in the United States Hockey League, which is another kind of pond. So I had these kind of baby steps, and then St. Cloud, 4 years on the Olympic sheet, bigger ice surface. So I thought that would be great for my skating. And, to have that time to develop as a player in person, I think everyone can look back to those college days and how much they're cherished in everyone's life. If you're an athlete or not, it's a great experience being part of a university.
You mentioned the Olympics, and of course, Bree was part of the USA Olympic hockey team, the women's team. So you share those types of memories with her. But if you will, tell us about the experience of playing Olympic hockey.
Oh yeah, I mean, just light up with goosebumps every time. I think as a kid, I never thought I'd be able to, even maybe play in the NHL, and then to get a chance to represent your country in the Olympics. Knowing Herbie Brooks and just those colors and what it represents. And then especially playing in Canada, I don't think you can get much better unless we're on our own turf. But we wanted to make that whole country cry, that's for sure. And we came close, but it was just a magical experience. And it was just something that happened. I'm still very thankful and humbled that I was able to represent my country.
Ryan, you're giving me chills talking about that. And I know I'm going to get more chills because I want to talk about you coming back home to Pittsburgh and playing for the team that your dad played for. You played for the Pittsburgh Penguins. You were on the line with Sidney Crosby. And what an amazing experience your NHL career as a whole must have been. But playing back here in Pittsburgh, it must have been outstanding for you.
It was. And as a kid, it's funny because now you have all these articles or even these programs from there was like Ryan Malone night on youth night there. And it's crazy because we're talking about the development of hockey in Pittsburgh, and at the time it sounds like Robert Morris is a Division I team. What a great opportunity this is for the city of Pittsburgh. And this was back in 2000. I don't even know, 6 or something. We're talking about it's even how high school hockey developed, where you have 4 solid lines. compared to when I grew up. We kind of had maybe 2 or 3 good lines, and then that fourth line, some guys still weren't even that good of skaters yet. So to see the depth and how Pittsburgh has grown is great. So, but to pull on the sweater for real, even in training camp or the practice sweater, is crazy. Actually, it was the same trainer, Steve Lattin, was sharpening my skates since I was a little kid, and I've been around the rink, behind the scenes there when my dad worked there. So to be able to put on the sweater for real and get that opportunity, I'll always be incredibly thankful for wearing the black and gold, because it meant a lot to me. That's for sure.
Tell me some of the top highlights as you think back on your career, even all the way back to your high school days and training to become a professional. What are the top highlights in your mind that jump out?
Well, I think, like you said, just pulling on that sweater for real. Even getting drafted by the Penguins. I know that's something my dad's always was all on me too. Even like the first round picks don't necessarily make it. So even if you get drafted, it doesn't really mean anything yet. So you still have to continue to work hard and, push yourself. So, but I think, honestly, I enjoyed every second of my career and training with my friends up in even Minnesota hockey camps. Was a big turning point for me, having a lot of fun with the process of developing, but yet being surrounded by so many other people that had the same love for the game as yourself. So there was not 1 or 2 moments, but the closest moment was probably the 2008 Stanley Cup final loss, just because as I was there in the early 90s as a fan, and then to be on the ice trying to win the Stanley Cup for the city meant, so much, because I got to see it from behind the scenes. So that was something that sticks out just as the experience. And I blame my dad for letting me touch the cup in the early 90s. He jinxed me. But like I said, I was 13 at the time they won those cups, and there's not a chance. And heck, I was thinking I was going to make it the NHL. So I never did tell my teammates I touched the cup until, everyone's hearing about it now. But I always thought that I'm like, oh my God, I touched the cup when I was a kid, and now I probably jinxed it. But
it would have worn off by then.
Yeah. So, but it's funny.
Well, speaking of kids and, Pittsburgh kids in particular, what advice can you give young hockey players? We see so many youth hockey teams and leagues here in the Pittsburgh area now. There's so much more ice time available to kids as compared even to the few years ago when you were a youngster. But talk about youth hockey in Pittsburgh and what advice you can give to youngsters who might be listening to our podcast today.
Yeah, I think you have to love it, and it's going to be fun for you, right? There's no secret recipe. Okay, you got to shoot 100 pucks a day to make it. There's so many ups and downs. And you really have to love it, because once you get hurt or you get run over for the first time, you get the wind knocked out of you, you're going to have to get back up yourself to want to go get the puck again. So, embrace it all. I think I cherished all my broken noses and scars for what they are. So, but ultimately, I think you just got to love it and have fun and, be a good teammate. Be respectful of your coaches, and I'm going to flip that around a little bit too. Maybe coaches relax a little bit. We don't need bench minors. It's a minor hockey game that doesn't matter. So also, I think it also goes for the coaches, can dial it down, make sure that there is that fun aspect to it, so kids continue to develop and not be scared out there. Try to make plays. So have some fun, and you never know what might happen.
We talked to Coach Derek Schooley earlier and got his reaction to the announcement the other day that Robert Morris Hockey was proudly and boldly returning. Finally, I just want to ask you what your reaction was when you knew that the goal was reached and Robert Morris Hockey was coming back.
Yeah, I got goosebumps. I mean, when Derek was he let me know, and it was great. Ultimately, we came in knowing we had a big battle to go, and we didn't want to get into the politics side of what happened and all that stuff. So we're like, here's the goal. Let's try to reach our goal, let them know and see the community is behind these teams. And I can't thank everyone from the Team Yinzer, the rally video there to come out and have some fun and show the support, because it's amazing. Kiesel and Swissum and Walker as well. They all have, kids that play the sport, hockey. So they're all around the league coaching their daughters. So it was just great to see the hockey community come together and show that support for Robert Morris. So I'm expecting, bigger and better things for the hockey program at Robert Morris, and hopefully they can, come back and kick some butt here that first year.
Absolutely. Ryan, you're going to go down into history as one of the saviors of Robert Morris hockey. And we can't thank you enough for playing your part and doing your job in helping us get Robert Morris hockey back. So thank you so much.
Oh, it was a 100% team effort. So I was just happy. Like I said, it's easy for me to hop on board. I can't imagine what those kids felt like hearing the news the way they did. So, I felt we all fought for them, and I was glad to see the teams come back.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Ryan Malone here with us on the Bobby Moe Show. We're going to come back and check what's happening elsewhere on campus with the teams, give you the scores, the results, and the schedule ahead right after this on the Bobby Moe Show.
Welcome back, RMU basketball fans. Single game tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster for all RMU men's and women's basketball home games at the UPMC Event Center. Don't miss out on the full court excitement of RMU and Horizon League basketball. Non-stop action, fantastic promotions, and lots of fun all season long. Go to Ticketmaster and get your tickets now. To stay up to date on all RMU basketball news, download the RMU Game Day app or check it out at rmucolonials.com.
Wow, it is great to have Robert Morris University hockey back. So thankful for our guest today, head hockey coach Derek Schooley of the men's hockey team here at Robert Morris University, and former Penguin and NHL star and Olympian Ryan Bugsy Malone. We really appreciate them and their efforts in bringing Robert Morris University hockey back. Right now, let's take a look at the schedule for some of the other team sports. First of all, women's basketball. They'll be hosting Cleveland State on December 30th. At 7 o'clock p.m. You'll see that game on ESPN+. We'll have it for you, of course. And the women also host Purdue Fort Wayne on January 1st. That'll be a 1 o'clock start. As far as men's basketball, the guys lost this past Sunday at Bowling Green 100-74. They're looking for a win here this week, and they'll be on the road following the Christmas holiday at Oakland on December 30th. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. Detroit Mercy, they'll play them on January 1st at 3 o'clock p.m. That game will start immediately following the tail end of the women's game on the 1st of January in the coming new year. And both of those games will be heard on the RMU Athletics Game Day app. I'll be on the call for those. By the way, again, just to remind you, since the holidays are upon us, we won't be back until January 6th for a new edition of the Bobby Moe Show. So we hope that you tune in then. I'm Chris Shublin, the play-by-play voice of the Robert Morris University basketball and football teams. Thanking you for joining us, wishing you happy holidays, a blessed, very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Bobby Moe Show.